Welcome to another video, Walk on the Wild Side, and I am here in Blackpool. There's the famous Blackpool Tower. So I'm just here on North Promenade in Blackpool, and this is another video. I don't want to make a habit of this, by the way, but there's been a video on YouTube by Neil Sean, and I did do a rebuttal video to his just a few weeks ago about the Metropole Hotel. Now this one was titled something like Terror at the Seaside, Nowhere is Safe, and it wasn't just Blackpool that he was talking about. So I thought I'd just clear a couple of things up about that video, which I thought were a little bit sensationalized. By the way, if you like all things Blackpool, get following my channel, get subscribing. I cover all sides of Blackpool, and I want to just do a bit of a rebuttal about this Neil Sean video, which seemed to make out that people coming to Blackpool were absolutely terrorised by muggings, having the phone stolen, handbags snatched. That sort of stuff goes on all over the place, doesn't it? And I don't think it's any worse in Blackpool than it is anywhere else. Anyway, I'll tell you a bit more after this. Check out this amazing view here in Blackpool from Gin Square. Just look at the sea there, the tide is in, and my goodness, just look at the colour of the sea. It's like a turquoise colour. You know, there's a lot made out about the Blackpool Sea being brown. Well, it normally is brown, and it's all to do with the sand. It's all to do with the sand. It's nothing to do with anything else. Allegedly. Anyway, something else I want to talk about, which was mentioned in that Neil Sean video, was some of the hotels, and this building was one of them. I can't remember when that was last a hotel, if it ever was a hotel. It's a really nice building, by the way, just up here by Gin Square, and he mentioned that some of these hotels like this one were open up until a couple of years ago. Well, I don't think this hotel here has been open in the last couple of years. He also mentioned the Lord's Hotel, which is on the Golden Mile, and that hotel there, I've not known that hotel to be open for at least 10 years. And he mentioned the Parisian Hotel, which is in Lansdowne Crescent, just north of the North Pier. The Parisian Hotel, as far as I know, hasn't been open for about 5 years, so he kind of made out that these hotels were open within the last couple of years when they're not. But anyway, I'm going to take a little bit of a walk up here. Well, I'll show you a little bit of Blackpool, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about what was said on that video and what I think was a little bit overhyped. So I'm just here at the top end of Middle Walk, and I've actually done a few videos on Middle Walk. Now, Middle Walk, there are certain places in towns where you go to that are probably not the best places to go at certain times of the day, and this is one of those places. It's got a bit of a reputation, actually. So like a lot of other places, Blackpool has its areas that are not that great, and a lot of it comes down to timing. You wouldn't walk, I wouldn't advise anyone to walk down. In fact, I wouldn't even be out at 2 o'clock in the morning or anything like that anywhere really, because the sort of people that are out at that time, unless they're going to work or something like that, they're probably up to no good. So Middle Walk, yeah, it does have its problems, although it's not been too bad over the last few years. A lot of it's been closed off anyway. So yeah, so in this video, Neil Sean, he did do a video a few weeks back on the Metropole where he said well, we know that there's migrants in the Metropole Hotel, and I think that's totally wrong. They shouldn't be in there. And but I think he was just bigging it up a bit too much, and he was talking about people going on the North Pier and people getting mugged or the threat of being mugged. And I don't think, I went onto the North Pier in that video, and there was people just sat down, all relaxed and everything, there's no problem at all. So like I say, I think that was a little bit hyped up, getting blown about a bit. We've lost the heat wave, folks. The heat wave is over. It's still quite warm, but it's gone a little bit cooler. Let's take a little walk up here, shall we? It's quite posh up this end, So this is Gin Square. You can see the pub over there, and we've got the Spitfire on display here. As part of the illuminations of Blackpool, some of you might remember the fairground that used to be a mock-up fairground in the roundabout, and also the rocket tram used to feature there, yeah, in Ginn Square as part of the illuminations. So I'm just making my way up now to Jubilee Garden. This is quite a more sort of cultured part of Blackpool Promenade, if you want to call it that. It's not quite as brash as the Golden Mile. Now I know a lot of people do come to Blackpool and they trash the place, they do, because if you look at the rubbish that people leave behind, there are some bad people that come to Blackpool, I have no doubt about that. Visitors come here, they bring massive crates of Stella or whatever, whatever bit car packing, and they just sit on if it's a nice day, they'll sit on the seawall, because we've got a stepped seawall, and this is mainly in the central area, and they'll just drink all day long. In fact, I saw a fight. Oh, it's a massive scrap the other week, yeah. It happened near the RNLI, and I happened to be flying a drone at the time, and I managed to capture a little bit of the scrap, and the guys from the RNLI were training on that night, and they happened to break it up. So it can really kick off with the visitors sometimes, but that wasn't really what Neil Sean was talking about. He was more talking about, obviously, he was talking about migrants, of course. Now, we do have that problem with the migrants in the Metropole Hotel, and I don't agree with that at all, but I don't think that is the problem. Well, there's a view of the North Pier, and just look at this now. What a view from here in Blackpool. It's not like the olden days, we can't turn back the clock, times are different, but is it really as bad as what it was made out on that video? I'll put a link to the video in the description so you can have a look for it for yourself and see what you think. You seen those men that go around with hoodies on in warm weather, and they're usually dressed in all dark clothing, and they wear like puffer jackets and tracksuit bottoms, all black clothing, and wearing hoodies in really warm weather. Now, forgive me for judging, but I don't think that's a good look, and I would probably, if I saw someone like that, I would probably keep my distance, because they do look a little bit threatening. Not saying that they are up to no good, but I just don't think either. They're all over the place now, aren't they? And not only that, but we've also got the bally scallies as well, the balaclavaed up kids on those Suron e-bikes, which are illegal on the public roads, those like scrambler, and that they're all over the place. They're the ones to watch out for. Yeah, watch out for those. I'd keep my wits about you, but like I say, you get them all over the place now. Blackpool's nothing special. We have them here. Yeah, they're all over. I've seen videos of them in London, like snatching people. They ride on the bike along the pavement and they just whip someone's phone out of the hand. Yeah, so you've got to be really careful, and it doesn't matter where you are, it can happen anywhere. That's the Savoy Hotel over there, and that's a Britannia Hotel, and as far as I know, that is a functioning hotel for paying guests at the moment. Hopefully it'll stay that way. So I'm just here in Jubilee Gardens. This is quite a rare site on Blackpool Promenade, green spaces, with flowers and that. It's actually looked after by volunteers, so shout out to the volunteers who look after Ginn Gardens. Not Ginn Gardens, Jubilee Gardens, sorry, Jubilee Gardens. So we are just north of Ginn Square, of course. And like I say, we've got some quite swanky hotels up here. The Savoy, well, it probably was in the olden day. Just over here, we've got the Granada Apartments. I did a video in there. Highly recommended serviced apartments here in Blackpool, if you want to check them out. So there you go. I'm doing it again, folks. But like I say, I don't want to make a habit of doing these videos where I just think a lot of the stuff he's talking about is right. The country is going to pot, let's face it. It's going down the pan, isn't it? But I don't think that a lot of the stuff he was talking about Blackpool really rings true. If you saw the video I did the other day, I did a video in the heat wave, and I went out on Saturday and it was absolutely blasting. It was 30 degrees. I walked down the promenade, and you know what? We've got beggars, we've got beer monsters. Well, if you watch my channel enough, you'll know that we have beer monsters that sit in the shelters, and we've got plenty of them. But Blackpool gets a bad rap as well, because we've got a lot. We come top of the list in some of the worst, you know, lowest death rate, lowest age for dying, teenage pregnancy, drug use, all that. It's terrible. Yeah, it's really bad. But that's different. That's not what this guy was talking about. He was more talking about people coming to Blackpool and put up, or other places as well, and putting it off because the terror, absolute terror, and it's like a shock. It's like a walking, talking Daily Mail, I think. But anyway, let me know what you think. Is he right? Does he have a point? I think he does have a point on some that I do think he just overblows it, overhypes it a little bit, and gets these massive views. Well, hopefully I'll get a few views on this to try and counteract that video. Yeah. But anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. There'll be a link to that one in the description. If you like this video, hit the like button, and also hit subscribe and tick the bell for notifications of new videos, and I'll see you again on the next one.